What if the raise you've been chasing is actually making you poorer? Not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because the way paychecks, expenses, and lifestyle upgrades interact, it's almost perfectly designed to keep your actual freedom shrinking even as your income grows. That's what we're breaking down today, the salary trap. And once you see how it actually works, you'll understand why most people with good salaries end up with almost nothing to show for it. Here's what most people believe. If you earn more, you get ahead. Work harder, get the raise, solve the problem. That's the deal we were all promised, right? Make more money, stress less about money. It sounds like basic math. And for a lot of people, even high earners, it genuinely feels true. Because their lifestyle looks like success. Nice apartment, decent car, subscriptions, dinners out, the occasional trip. From the outside, they're winning. But here's what's actually happening under the surface. Your expenses don't just grow when your income grows. They grow automatically, driven by psychology that was baked into your brain long before you ever got your first paycheck, and the entire system around you, landlords, lenders, car companies, app developers, has been precisely optimized to trigger that automatic response the moment your income ticks up. This isn't about discipline. It's not about being smarter with money. The trap works on smart people. It works on high earners. It works on people who know it exists. The only way out is understanding the exact mechanism, which almost nobody talks about correctly. I've spent a significant amount of time studying how this plays out at different income levels, from people making $40,000 who are surprisingly free, to people pulling six figures who are one missed paycheck away from serious trouble. The pattern is consistent, and it comes down to a few specific structural problems that almost everyone gets wrong. So here's what we're doing today. 5 things. The illusion hidden inside every paycheck, the automatic mechanism that inflates your lifestyle whether you want it to or not, why your predictability is making other people rich, how to actually measure your real freedom in concrete terms, and the 3 structural moves that break the cycle for good. Let's get into it. Part 1. The Paycheck Illusion. Here's the first thing almost nobody accounts for. The salary number you negotiate, celebrate, and tell people about is not the money you actually control. When someone says they make $85,000 a year, they emotionally anchor to that number. It's the number on the offer letter. It's the number that made their parents proud. But the money that hits their account after taxes, already significantly less. And that's before a single bill gets paid. Let's run the actual numbers. $85,000 annually is roughly $3,200 every 2 weeks before taxes. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, depending on where you live, you're looking at maybe $2,400 to $2,500 actually landing in your account. Now start subtracting the non-negotiables. Rent in most mid to large cities, $1,100 to $1,500 for a decent one-bedroom. Car payment, insurance, gas, $500 to $600 if you're not driving anything fancy. Groceries, utilities, phone, internet subscriptions, another $600 to $700 easily. You're now down to somewhere between $100 and $300 per 2-week pay period. That's not $85,000. That's somewhere between $2,600 and $7,800 a year in actual discretionary money. The number you celebrate and the number you actually control are completely different figures, and most people have never sat down and done this math explicitly. This isn't a budgeting problem, it's a perception problem. You can't make smart decisions about money you don't realize you've already spent. The entire trap runs on the gap between what you think you're earning and what you're actually managing. And here's where it gets uncomfortable, because even if you know your real number, there's a force working against you that has nothing to do with math. And it's why raises almost never fix the problem the way you think they will. Part 2. Lifestyle inflation is automatic. Most people think lifestyle inflation is a discipline problem. Like if you just had enough willpower, you'd pocket the raise instead of upgrading your apartment. But that's not actually how it works. There's a concept in psychology called hedonic adaptation. It's the brain's built-in ability to treat new circumstances as the new normal, and it happens fast. Whatever you have right now, your brain has already adapted to and now considers baseline. More is pleasure, less is pain. And when your income goes up, your brain immediately starts scanning for the more it now feels entitled to. Here's the part nobody talks about. The system around you knows this, and it times its offers accordingly. When you get a raise, your HR system updates, credit bureaus notice, banks notice, and within weeks, sometimes days, you start seeing different offers, pre-approved auto loans for better cars, apartment listings at a higher price point, travel credit cards with bigger limits and better perks. These aren't coincidences. They're a coordinated response to a detected income increase. Think about what actually happens when someone gets promoted to $90,000. Their brain says they deserve a better car. The dealer is already ready for them. Better financing terms, better inventory, a salesperson trained to make the upgrade feel rational. They don't feel like they're being sold to. They feel like they're finally getting what they earned. 6 months later, that new car payment is just part of their fixed costs. Normal. Baseline. And now they need that salary more than they did before the raise. The trap doesn't require bad decisions. It hijacks good feelings. The sense of progress, the feeling of reward, the belief that you've earned this. That's what makes it so effective. You can be fully aware that lifestyle inflation exists and still fall into it, because the mechanism operates below the level of conscious choice. Fixing this isn't about trying harder, it's about changing the structure before the automatic response kicks in. But there's another layer to this most people never think about, and it has to do with who actually benefits every time you stay predictable. Part 3. You are someone else's revenue stream. Here's a reframe that might genuinely change how you see your finances. Every fixed expense you carry isn't just a cost to you, it's guaranteed income for someone else. Your landlord has modelled their mortgage payment around your rent check. Your auto lender built their business projections around your monthly payment. Your streaming services, your gym, your phone carrier, they've all counted you as a reliable recurring revenue event. You're not the customer in this system. You're the product. Your predictability is the asset being sold. Think about someone, let's call him Adam, 6 figures in tech. Everyone around him assumes he's thriving, but he's got a $400,000 mortgage, 2 car payments, kids in private school, and a lifestyle that requires his exact income to function. His company offers him a $20,000 raise. He feels relieved, grateful even. But look at what that raise actually does. It doesn't increase his freedom. It increases his value as a revenue stream, because now he's more likely to stay, more locked in, more predictable. The raise is an incentive, not for him, but for every institution that counts on him showing up and paying on time. And here's the cruelest part. When you're this predictable and this committed to your fixed costs, you lose the ability to take risks. You can't start something new, can't say no to a job you hate, can't take a lower paying opportunity that might lead somewhere better, because all of your money is already promised to someone else before you even receive it. The shift happens when you stop asking, how do I earn more? And start asking, who is getting rich off my predictability? And how do I stop feeding that? That question changes your relationship with every financial decision you make. So, how deep in the trap are you actually? There's a specific way to measure it, and the number most people get when they do this honestly is genuinely alarming. Part 4. The Freedom Score. Here's a concrete way to measure your real financial freedom right now. If you quit your job tomorrow, no warning, no backup, how many months could you maintain your current lifestyle on what you have saved? That number is your freedom score, and for most people with good incomes, it's under 1. Do the actual math. Take your liquid savings, or the cash you can access without penalties, without selling investments, without borrowing. Divide it by your monthly expenses. That's your number. If the answer is 3 or more, you have genuine options. You can negotiate differently because you're not desperate. You can take a risk without it being catastrophic. You can say no. If the answer is under 1, which describes over 60% of professionals, you don't have financial security. You have the appearance of it. Nice furniture, good neighborhood, maybe a great credit score. But the first missed paycheck starts a clock you can't stop. The freedom score is the only financial metric that actually measures autonomy. Not income, not net worth, but how much genuine choice you have in a given moment. And the trap is specifically designed to keep that number near 0, because the closer it is to 0, the more predictable you are. The good news? This number can be moved, deliberately, but not through the advice you've probably already heard, because the solution to a structural problem is never behavioral. Part 5. The exit is structural. Every standard piece of financial advice treats this as a willpower problem. Spend less, save more, cut the subscriptions, make your coffee at home. And that advice isn't wrong exactly. It's just addressing the symptom while leaving the system completely intact. The salary trap is structural, which means the exit has to be structural too. 3 moves, in this order. Move 1, separate income from identity. Your salary is not your wealth. It's a rental agreement. You rent out your time and receive payments in return. The moment it stops, so does the income. Actual wealth is what keeps paying you when you stop working. So the first structural change is breaking the automatic mental equation between earning more and being richer. One is a cash flow, the other is an asset base. They are not the same thing. Move 2, protect the gap. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only number that creates freedom. The system's entire job is to close that gap to 0 through lifestyle inflation. Your job is to formalize it, give it a number, treat it as sacred, and redirect it before it gets absorbed by the next upgrade. Not after the upgrade, before. Move 3. Build your freedom score to 3 months before you do anything else. Not invest, not buy assets, not optimize. Build the buffer first. Because here's what most people miss. This isn't just a financial move. When you have 3 months of runway, your brain shifts out of scarcity mode. You negotiate differently, you evaluate opportunities differently, you stop making decisions from fear and start making them from choice. That psychological shift is the real unlock. The buffer doesn't just protect you financially, it rewires how you operate entirely. These aren't 3 separate tips, they're a sequence. Each step removes one layer of the trap, and behavioral changes without structural changes don't free you. They just make the cage more comfortable. So let's bring it all together. The salary you celebrate isn't the money you actually control, that's the paycheck illusion. And most people have never sat down and done the real math. Lifestyle inflation isn't a discipline failure. It's an automatic psychological response that the entire system is built to trigger the moment your income rises. Your fixed expenses make you a predictable revenue stream for everyone you owe. And that predictability is what costs you your options. Your freedom score is the only metric that measures real autonomy. And the exit is structural. Protect the gap, redirect it, build the buffer, in that order. We started with one question. Why do so many people who earn good money end up with so little to show for it? The answer isn't character, it isn't effort, it's architecture. And now you understand the architecture. The people who break out of this aren't luckier or smarter. They just saw it clearly, and then made one structural decision at a time until the trap couldn't hold them anymore. You now see it clearly. Drop your freedom score in the comments. How many months could you last? I genuinely want to see the number. And if this shifted how you think about your income, hit subscribe. We do this every week. See you on the next one.